as the piercing shriek of a German dive bomber tore through the night, shaking the fragile cabin of a British destroyer caught in the Atlantic's churning waves. Alan Al Granger clutched a partially decrypted Enigma message, its words a lifeline that could save a convoy, or doom it. It was August 1943, in the heart of the Battle of the Atlantic, where the North Atlantic's icy expanse became a deadly chessboard, pitting Allied convoys against relentless German U-boats. Al, a 26-year-old cryptographer from Cambridge, had been thrust from the secretive huts of Bletchley Park into this perilous mission, driven by a burning need to prove himself after his friend's death in a torpedoed merchant ship. The message, scrawled in frantic code, held coordinates for a U-boat ambush, but its incomplete decryption hinted at a deeper secret, pulling Al into a web of danger and doubt that could alter the war's tide. Bletchley Park, where Al had honed his mathematical genius, was a world of whirring bomb machines and whispered secrets, but the sea was another beast, unforgiving, shrouded in fog, and alive with the threat of unseen submarines. At 5'9", with wire-framed glasses and ink-stained fingers, Al was out of place among the destroyer's grizzled crew, his civilian coat a stark contrast to their naval blues. Yet his mind, sharp as the Enigma's ciphers, was their weapon, tasked with delivering the message to HMS Vigilant, a destroyer patrolling the convoy's path. In his pocket, a crumpled letter from his mother, "Come home safe, my boy," clashed with the memory of his friend's last plea. "Break the codes, Al." The ship rocked violently, spray lashing the deck as the crew braced for another Luftwaffe pass. The first strong event struck in Bletchley's hushed corridors days earlier. Al, working late in Hut 8, intercepted a garbled Enigma transmission, coordinates and a cryptic warning. Wolfpack, betrayal, convoy, HX-239. The message, incomplete due to a bomb malfunction, suggested a U-boat ambush, but hinted at sabotage within Allied ranks. His mentor, Dr. Evelyn Carter, a sharp-witted mathematician, urged caution. "Don't jump to conclusions, Granger." But Al's gut churned. His friend's ship had sunk under similar circumstances, the loss fueling his resolve. Against protocol, he volunteered to join HMS Vigilant, carrying the partial decrypt to warn the convoy. The decision stunned his team, earning a stern warning from Commander Hugh Langley, Bletchley's liaison. "You're a codebreaker, not a sailor. Stay safe." The destroyer was a floating fortress of steel and tension, its crew a mix of veterans and green recruits. Captain Roger Blake, a weathered Londoner with eyes like slate, welcomed Al warily. "You'd better be worth the risk, lad." The crew's radio operator, Petty Officer Tom Harris, a cockney with a quick grin, offered camaraderie. "Stick with me, brainbox." But Chief Engineer Margaret Maggie Poole, a rare female officer from Liverpool, eyed Al with suspicion. Civilians don't belong at sea. The dynamic set the stage for conflict, their trust in Al's untested courage fragile. The moral dilemma loomed: risk exposing Bletchley's secrets by delivering the decrypt, or stay silent and let the convoy sail into a trap. A dramatic event heightened the stakes as HMS Vigilant hit turbulent waters. A U-boat sighting forced a sudden course change, the ship lurching as depth charges rumbled below. Al, clutching his decrypt, stumbled on the slick deck, saved by Harris's quick grab. The near miss was heart-stopping, the crew's shouts drowned by the storm's roar. Al's mind raced. Had the U-boat detected their signal? The partial decrypt, scribbled on damp paper, held fragments. U-571. 53 groin. Traitor within. The word traitor chilled him. Someone in the convoy, or even Bletchley, might be leaking to the Germans. He confided in Harris, whose grin faded. "If there's a rat, we're all sunk." The encounter exposed Al's vulnerability, his civilian status a liability amid the crew's battle-hardened rhythm. Psychological tension gripped Al, his mind a battlefield of doubt and duty. Flashbacks to his friend's death, swallowed by the Atlantic's depths, clashed with his mother's plea for safety. The Enigma's ciphers, once a puzzle to conquer, now felt like a curse, their secrets a weight he carried alone. "Am I enough?" he whispered, the storm's howl mirroring his turmoil. Captain Blake, sensing his unease, offered gruff advice. Focus on the job, not the fear. But Maggie's cold stare deepened his isolation. You break codes, not waves. Don't get us killed. The crew's division sowed seeds of conflict. Al's resolve tested as he grappled with the decrypt's incomplete truth. A dramatic twist deepened the intrigue. In the radio room, Al found a hidden note tucked in the ship's log, scrawled in German. HX 239 compromised. It was a clue to the traitor, but its origin was unclear. Dropped by a crew member or planted, Harris, shaken, swore it wasn't his, but Maggie's absence during the sighting raised Al's suspicions. The discovery electrified him, but also endangered the mission, revealing it could spark panic. Yet silence risked betrayal. Al's choice crystallized. Share the note with Blake, risking chaos, or investigate alone, defying naval hierarchy. The ship's klaxon blared, signaling another U-boat alert, cutting his deliberations short. The cliffhanger loomed as the destroyer's sonar pinged, a U-boat closing fast, its torpedo tubes likely armed. The crew scrambled. Depth charges ready, but Al's radio crackled with a new Enigma signal, its code matching the ambush coordinates. Was it confirmation or a lure? Blake's orders rang out. Prepare to engage, but Al, clutching the note and decrypt, spotted a figure in the fog-shrouded crow's nest, signaling with a flashlight, an act of sabotage. Friend or foe, the silhouette vanished, leaving Al frozen. The U-boat's shadow loomed beneath the waves, the convoy hours away, and the traitor's presence a ticking bomb. Al's heart thundered, the whisper in the dark pulling him toward a truth or a trap that could save or sink them all. As the Atlantic's icy waves crashed against HMS Vigilant, threatening to hurl it into the abyss, Al Granger's heart pounded as he uncovered a second German note hidden in the radio room. Its scrawled words, traitor aboard, deepening the dread that a saboteur threatened their mission. The North Atlantic, August 1943, was a merciless battleground in the Battle of the Atlantic, where Allied convoys faced relentless U-boat wolf packs. Al's quest to deliver a partially decrypted Enigma message to warn convoy HX-239 of an ambush had thrust him from Bletchley Park's safety onto this destroyer, his resolve fueled by his friend's death, but shaken by mounting evidence of betrayal. The ship's creaking steel and the crew's wary glances mirrored the psychological tension gripping Al, as the moral dilemma of exposing a traitor or staying silent threatened to unravel everything. The conflict deepened, sowing seeds of distrust among the crew. Captain Roger Blake, the weathered Londoner commanding HMS Vigilant, maintained iron discipline, his slate-gray eyes scanning the horizon for U-boats. "Keep your head, Granger," he warned, his voice gruff but steady. Petty Officer Tom Harris, the Cockney radio operator, offered camaraderie but grew uneasy at the new note's implications. "If there's a rat, we're sitting ducks." Chief Engineer Margaret Maggie Poole, her Liverpool accent sharp, doubled her skepticism of Al. "Your codes are trouble, Brainbox." The crew's newest addition, Lieutenant Sarah Fielding, a signals officer from Bristol with a keen mind for intercepts, joined the mid-voyage, her arrival stirring curiosity and suspicion. Her knowledge of Enigma frequencies was invaluable, but her guarded demeanor raised Al's doubts. The moral dilemma crystallized: reveal the note and risk panic, or investigate alone, potentially missing the convoy's deadline. Secondary characters enriched the dynamics, amplifying the tension. Sarah, with her clipped efficiency, assisted Al in recalibrating the radio, but her cryptic comment, "Bletchley's not airtight," hinted at insider knowledge. Harris, loyal but jittery, confided in Al about Maggie's late-night radio checks, unusual for an engineer. Blake, burdened by command, balanced trust in Al's decrypt against the crew's safety, his orders terse. "Find the truth, Granger, but don't sink us." Maggie's hostility grew, her glares accusing Al of endangering the ship. The crew's fragile unity teetered, each member wrestling with fear and duty in the storm's relentless grip. Al's inexperience clashed with his responsibility, the weight of his friend's death torpedoed in a convoy, pushing him to act, but fear of failure gnawing at his resolve. The psychological napuga intensified, Al's mind a storm of doubt and determination. Flashbacks to his friend's last letter, "You'll crack it, Al," clashed with his mother's plea for safety, her words a distant anchor in his pocket. The Enigma's ciphers, once a puzzle to conquer, now felt like a noose, their incomplete truths haunting him. "Am I leading them to death?" he whispered, the ship's lurch mirroring his turmoil. Harris's camaraderie offered solace, but Maggie's accusations, "You're no sailor, Granger," deepened his isolation. His glasses fogged with sweat, hallucinations creeping in, his friend's face in the waves, accusing him of failing. The second note's warning, "Traitor aboard," echoed, amplifying his fear that betrayal lurked within the crew. A strong event erupted, thrusting the group into their first direct Zitkani with the enemy. As HMS Vigilant patrolled, sonar pinged, a U-boat stalking nearby, its silhouette invisible in the fog. The crew scrambled. Depth charges primed, but Al's radio caught a German transmission, its frequency matching Sarah's latest intercept. The signal was a taunt. HX-239 tonight. The encounter was heart-stopping, the ship veering to evade a suspected torpedo, waves crashing over the deck. Al clung to his decrypt, its coordinates aligning with the convoy's path, but the German message hinted at insider knowledge. Blake ordered silence, but Maggie's absence during the alert, checking engines, she claimed, raised Al's suspicions. The crew's evasion succeeded, the U-boat retreating, but the close call fractured their trust. Maggie's glare accusing Al. "Your signals are drawing them." The internal conflict flared, threatening to Rosagalati the group. In the cramped radio room, Al confronted Maggie, his voice steady despite fear. "Were you signaling?" Her denial was fierce. "I keep this ship running, not sinking." Harris intervened, his Cockney calm fraying. "We're all jumpy, mate." Sarah's silence, her eyes fixed on the radio, deepened the rift. Was she protecting secrets or hiding them? Blake, overhearing, demanded focus. "Find the traitor, Granger, or we're blind." The standoff was a crucible. Al's leadership tested as he balanced his decrypt's urgency against the crew's discord. His mind churned, the notes warning a specter. Had he brought the danger aboard? Dramatic pewority built a sense of impending catastrophe. Al recalibrated the radio, catching a new Enigma fragment, U-571, sabotage, rendezvous. The word sabotage electrified him, confirming a traitor's hand, but the signal's source was unclear. Bletchley or the ship? Sarah's expertise decoded it faster than expected, her efficiency unnerving. A hidden log in her bunk, glimpsed by Al, listed Enigma frequencies, standard or suspicious. The discovery rocked him, his trust in her wavering. The ship's engines stuttered, Maggie's repairs delayed, hinting at sabotage or coincidence. Blake's orders grew urgent. "Get that decrypt to the convoy, Granger." But the German signal's timing suggested they were being watched, their position compromised. A new challenge struck, heightening suspense. A Luftwaffe reconnaissance plane buzzed overhead, its shadow fleeting but ominous, forcing HMS Vigilant into a fog bank. The maneuver hid them, but the radio crackled with a distorted Allied signal. HX-239, under attack. The convoy was closer to danger than Al feared, the decrypt's warning now critical. Al faced a pivotal choice: broadcast the decrypt to the convoy, risking interception by U-boats, or hold off and investigate the traitor, delaying the warning. His mind fractured, hallucinations intensifying, his friend's voice in the static, accusing, "You're too late." Harris's plea, "Do it, mate," clashed with Maggie's warning, "You'll give us away." The cliffhanger loomed as the sonar pinged again, a U-boat closing, its intent clear. Blake ordered battle stations, the crew's faces taut, but Al's radio caught a new signal, German and precise, vigilant. Target. Had the traitor signaled their position? A flashlight blinked in the fog, not from the crow's nest, but the engine room. Maggie's domain. Was it her, Sarah, or another? Al's heart thundered, the decrypt in his hand a ticking bomb, the convoy's fate hanging in the balance. The U-boat's shadow loomed, the traitor's presence a blade in the dark, pulling them toward a crisis where truth and treachery would collide on the waves. As the sonar's relentless ping echoed through HMS Vigilant, signaling a U-boat's predatory approach, Al Granger's discovery of a sabotaged radio wire in the engine room confirmed his worst fear. The traitor aboard was no longer a suspicion, but a reality, plunging the mission into a vortex of escalating danger. The North Atlantic, August 1943, was a merciless expanse in the Battle of the Atlantic, where convoy HX-239 faced an imminent U-boat ambush. Al's quest to deliver the Enigma decrypt, coordinates pinpointing the attack, had thrust him from Bletchley Park's safety onto this destroyer, but his choice to pursue the traitor's trail now bore bitter consequences, sowing distrust among the crew and steering them toward a crisis that could sink them all. The fog-shrouded sea, thick with the salt of waves and the chill of betrayal, amplified the psychological tension as new challenges loomed like shadows beneath the surface. The crew, Captain Roger Blake, Petty Officer Tom Harris, Chief Engineer Margaret Maggie Poole, and Lieutenant Sarah Fielding, teetered on the edge of fracture, their unity strained by Al's findings. Blake, the weathered Londoner, maintained a steely grip on command, his slate-gray eyes scanning the fog for U-boats. "Find the saboteur, Granger, or we're done," he ordered, his voice taut. Harris, the Cockney radio operator, clung to loyalty but wavered, his grin fading. "This ain't just codes no more, mate." Maggie's hostility intensified, her Liverpool accent sharp as she deflected blame. "You're pointing fingers to save yourself, brainbox." Sarah, the signals officer, remained enigmatic, her Bristol calm masking secrets, her log of Enigma frequencies now a focal point of Al's suspicion. The first consequences of Al's decision to reveal the traitor's notes stung. Blake confined him to the radio room, limiting his access, a reprimand that deepened his isolation. His glasses fogged, the decrypt in his pocket a weight against his friend's dying plea. "Break the codes, Al." New challenges emerged, testing their resolve. The sabotaged wire, cut deliberately, had disrupted their ability to signal the convoy, forcing Al to rewire under Harris's wary supervision. The task was perilous. The radio room's cramped confines offered no cover, and the ship's lurching made every move a gamble. A trap materialized, a hidden device, a crude jammer, was tucked behind the radio, its faint hum suggesting recent use. "Someone's been here," Al whispered, his heart pounding. Maggie's absence during the repair, supposedly fixing engines, heightened suspicions, but Sarah's quick fix of the jammer raised Al's doubts about her. The fog thickened outside, a new adversary, reducing visibility and amplifying the U-boat's threat. Al's choice to pursue the decrypt had cost time, the convoy now hours from danger, his leadership tested as Blake's patience waned. A strong moment of tension erupted with a sudden pursuit. As Al recalibrated the radio, sonar pinged louder, a U-boat closing, its torpedo tubes likely armed. The crew scrambled to battle stations, depth charges ready, but a German transmission crackled through. "Vigilant, eliminate." The signal, on their frequency, suggested the traitor had betrayed their position. The ship veered, waves crashing over the deck, forcing Al to brace against the radio as spray soaked his decrypt. Blake ordered evasive maneuvers, but the U-boat's shadow loomed, its intent clear. Al faced a critical decision under pressure: broadcast the decrypt now, risking interception, or delay and search for the jammer's source, potentially losing the convoy. Harris urged action. "Send it, mate!" But Maggie's shout, "You'll kill us!" clashed with Sarah's calm. "Wait for a clear channel." The pursuit tightened, the sonar's ping a heartbeat of dread, the crew's survival hanging by a thread. An unexpected ally twisted the narrative, deepening the stakes. Mid-crisis, a faint Allied signal broke through, relayed by a nearby corvette, HMS Sparrow. Its radio officer, Ensign David Walsh, a young Welshman with a knack for signals, offered to relay Al's decrypt to the convoy. His voice, crackling through static, was a lifeline. "We're 10 miles out. Send it." But Walsh's sudden arrival raised Maggie's suspicion. How'd he know our frequency? The alliance was a double-edged sword. Walsh's help could save the convoy, but his timing echoed the traitor's signals. Al, torn between trust and caution, accepted Walsh's aid, but the crew's fractures deepened. Maggie's glare burned. "You're too quick to trust, Granger." The fog's deception cloaked friend and foe, amplifying Al's doubt. Had he invited salvation or sabotage? The psychological napuga intensified. Al's mind a storm of fear and duty. Flashbacks to his friend's sinking ship, flames on the water, clashed with his mother's letter, a crumpled anchor in his pocket. The Enigma's ciphers, once his triumph, now felt like a trap, their secrets a weight he bore alone. "Am I failing them?" he whispered, the ship's creak mirroring his fracturing resolve. Harris's loyalty offered solace, but Sarah's cryptic efficiency and Maggie's hostility deepened his isolation. Hallucinations crept in, his friend's voice in the static, accusing, "You're too late." The traitor's note, "Traitor aboard," loomed, a specter that could be anyone, even Walsh. Dramatic polarity built a sense of impending catastrophe. Al's rewired radio caught a new Enigma fragment, U57-1, strike at 0300. The time, hours away, confirmed the convoy's peril, but the signal's clarity suggested the traitor was still active, possibly aboard Sparrow. A hidden log in the engine room, found by Al, listed Vigilance coordinates, scrawled in a hand unlike Maggie's, Sarah's. The discovery rocked him, his trust in her crumbling. The ship's engine stuttered again, Maggie's repairs faltering, hinting at sabotage or strain. Blake's orders grew desperate. "Get that decrypt out, Granger." But the German signal's precision suggested they were being hunted, their position exposed. A new challenge struck, heightening suspense. A Luftwaffe plane buzzed overhead, its shadow piercing the fog, forcing Vigilant deeper into the haze. The maneuver hid them, but the radio crackled with Walsh's urgent call. Send now, or the convoy's lost. Al faced a pivotal choice: trust Walsh and broadcast, risking the traitor's interception, or hold off, searching for the saboteur, delaying the warning. His mind fractured, hallucinations intensifying. His friend's face in the waves, pleading, "Save them." The sonar pinged louder, the U-boat closing, its intent lethal. The cliffhanger loomed as a flashlight blinked again from the engine room, unseen by the crew but caught by Al. Was it Maggie, Sarah, or Walsh's relay? The decrypt burned in his hand, the convoy's fate a heartbeat away, the fog's deception a veil over truth and treachery, pulling them toward a crisis where one wrong move could sink them all. As the sonar's frantic ping morphed into a deafening klaxon, signaling a U-boat's torpedo lock on HMS Vigilant, Al Granger's discovery of a coded signal sent from the ship's radio confirmed the traitor's hand, thrusting the mission into a crisis where betrayal and survival collided. The North Atlantic, August 1943, was a merciless battleground in the Battle of the Atlantic, where convoy HX-239 sailed toward an imminent U-boat ambush. Al's quest to deliver an Enigma decrypt, coordinates pinpointing the attack, had drawn him from Bletchley Park's safety onto this destroyer, but his pursuit of the traitor aboard now faced dire consequences, with the crew's trust shattered and the convoy's fate hanging by a thread. The fog-shrouded sea, alive with the roar of waves and the threat of torpedoes, amplified the psychological tension as Al confronted a choice that could sink them all. The main event erupted with brutal clarity. A mission turned betrayal, the coded signal sent from Vigilance radio, exposing a saboteur within. Al's analysis, scrawled in the dim radio room, matched the signal to German frequencies, pinpointing the engine room. Maggie Poole's domain. Captain Roger Blake, his Londoner grit strained, demanded answers. "Who sent it, Granger?" Petty Officer Tom Harris, his Cockney loyalty fraying, stood by Al but wavered. "This is bad, mate." Lieutenant Sarah Fielding, her Bristol calm cracking, denied involvement, her log of Enigma frequencies now a damning clue. Chief Engineer Maggie, her Liverpool defiance fierce, scoffed, "You're blaming me to cover your mess." The signal's timing, moments before the U-boat's lock, confirmed a traitor had betrayed their position, drawing the wolf pack closer. The crew, Blake, Harris, Sarah, Maggie, teetered on collapse, their unity a casualty of Al's relentless probe. Al's hard choice crystallized, the psychological tension of vice around his heart. Broadcast the decrypt to warn the convoy, risking further interception by the traitor's allies, or disable the radio to stop the leaks, potentially dooming HX-239. Flashbacks to his friend's sinking ship, flames swallowing the hull, clashed with his mother's letter, a crumpled plea in his pocket. "You're too late," his friend's voice haunted, a hallucination blurring his glasses. Harris urged action. "Send it, Al." But Maggie's accusation, "You'll kill us," and Sarah's silence deepened his doubt. The sonar's ping intensified, the U-boat seconds from firing, forcing Al to act. "We stop the traitor first," he decided, voice steady despite trembling hands, choosing to confront the saboteur over immediate broadcast, a gamble that could cost lives. Intense events cascaded, driving the crisis to emotional peaks. A dramatic Zeitkonie unfolded as Al and Harris stormed the engine room, finding Maggie hunched over a hidden transmitter, its wires linked to the sabotaged radio. "It's not what you think," she shouted, her Liverpool accent thick with panic, claiming she was repairing damage. The confrontation was electric. Harris's rifle raised, Al's decrypt clutched like a shield. A twist deepened the stakes. Maggie revealed a coerced deal, her brother a POW held by Germans, forcing her to signal. They'd kill him, she sobbed, her betrayal born of desperation, not malice. Al's heart pounded, the moral weight crushing. Condemn Maggie or trust her plea. The ship lurched, a torpedo's wake grazing the hull, the near miss amplifying the Napuga as Blake's voice roared over the intercom. Evasive action. A dramatic Poryanak changed the tide. Sarah, bursting into the engine room, produced a decoded intercept from HMS Sparrow, confirming the convoy's position, but also a U-boat rendezvous at Zoro 300. Her efficiency stunned Al. Had she been working against them? But her plea, "I've been tracking the traitor too," shifted the dynamic, revealing she'd traced Maggie's signals. The revelation rallied Harris, but fractured trust further. Maggie's sobs, a haunting backdrop. Al, under pressure, ordered Maggie confined, but kept the radio active, choosing to broadcast the decrypt through Sparrow's secure channel. The act was a gamble, the emotional peak cresting as Al whispered to his friend's memory, "I'm trying." The convoy's fate hung on his signal, the U-boat's shadow closing in. The Napuga soared as the destroyer veered, depth charges exploding below, shaking the hull like a drum. The crew's faces, lit by emergency lanterns, were taut with fear. Blake's orders, "Hold the line," clashed with the sonar's relentless ping, signaling a second U-boat. Al's broadcast went out, Sparrow relaying it to HX-239, but a German countersignal crackled. "Vigilant, sunk." Was it a bluff, or had the traitor struck again? The emotional pinnacle came as Al faced Maggie, her eyes pleading, "I stopped signaling." Her brother's fate anchored her betrayal, mirroring Al's own grief. He chose mercy, ordering Harris to guard her, not bind her, a decision that risked further sabotage but preserved humanity. Intense events propelled the suspense, keeping viewers on edge. The convoy's response crackled through, ships altering course, evading the ambush, but a Luftwaffe plane buzzed overhead, its bombs grazing the sea, forcing Vigilant into a fog bank. The maneuver bought time, but the radio sparked, damaged by the shock, threatening Al's link to Sparrow. Harris's quick rewiring, a heroic act, restored it, but Maggie's whispered warning, "There's another," hinted at a deeper betrayal. A twist heightened the crisis. A log in Sarah's bunk, found by Al, listed Bletchley's secure codes, suggesting she'd leaked them. Was she the true traitor, or a red herring? Al's mind fractured, hallucinations peaking. His friend's voice in the static, accusing, "You trusted wrong." The crisis point resolved in a desperate gamble. Al broadcast a coded warning to Sparrow, masking the decrypt source, but the U-boat's torpedo lock tightened, its hum audible through the hull. Blake ordered a counterattack, depth charges rolling, but Sarah's calm voice cut through. "I've jammed their frequency." Her act was a lifeline, but her log's implications lingered. The convoy's flares lit the horizon, signaling evasion, but a final twist sealed the tension. A new German signal from Vigilant's own radio pinpointed their position. Had Maggie lied, or was Sarah the culprit? Al faced a final choice: disable the radio, silencing their defense, or trust Sarah's jam and push forward. The U-boat's shadow loomed, the traitor's signal a blade in the dark, propelling them toward a climax where truth and treachery would collide on the waves. As dawn's pale light pierced the Atlantic's fog, revealing the battered silhouette of HMS Vigilant limping toward the convoy's rendezvous, Al Granger clutched the decrypted Enigma message, its ink smudged but triumphant, as the weight of their survival and the traitor's unmasking settled like salt on his skin. The North Atlantic, August 1943, was a relentless battleground in the Battle of the Atlantic, where convoy HX-239 had narrowly escaped a U-boat ambush thanks to Al's desperate broadcast. His quest to deliver the decrypt, driven by his friend's death, had culminated in a harrowing confrontation that exposed Lieutenant Sarah Fielding as the traitor, her sabotage thwarted, but at a cost: Maggie's coerced signals, the crew's fractured trust, and Al's own emotional scars. The sea's restless waves mirrored the turmoil within, as immediate and long-term consequences shaped a profound resolution, the Enigma's secrets echoing a moral that would define Al's life. The immediate consequences unfolded in the chaotic aftermath aboard Vigilant. Captain Roger Blake, his Londoner grit strained but unbroken, commended Al's decrypt for saving the convoy, but his slate-gray eyes held stern judgment. "You exposed us, Granger." The unmasking of Sarah, her coded log revealed as a German cipher key, led to her confinement, her Bristol calm shattered by shame. "I had debts. They promised freedom," she confessed, her betrayal born of blackmail, not ideology. Petty Officer Tom Harris, his Cockney loyalty shaken, stood by Al, but Chief Engineer Maggie Poole, cleared of sabotage but scarred by her coerced signals, withdrew into silence. The convoy's survival, ships rerouted, U-boats scattered, was a fragile victory, but the cost was steep. The ship's radio damaged, crew morale frayed, and Al's role in the crisis drawing scrutiny from Bletchley Park. Harris clapped his shoulder. "You did it, mate, but at a price." Al coped with physical consequences first, his body battered by the ordeal. His hands, blistered from rewiring the radio under fire, ached under bandages, and exhaustion dragged at him, the ship's lurching a reminder of near misses with torpedoes. Medics urged rest, but Al's mind churned, unable to quiet. Emotional scars cut deeper. Nightmares replayed Sarah's betrayal, Maggie's sobs, the U-boat's shadow. His friend's death in a sunken convoy haunted him, a hallucination whispering, "You're too late." His mother's letter, sodden but intact, anchored him, but guilt surged. Had his pursuit of the traitor endangered the crew? Harris's camaraderie offered solace. "You saved hundreds, Brainbox." Yet Blake's warning, "Bletchley will have questions," loomed, threatening Al's career, his inexperience a weight against his triumph. Recovery events sustained interest, weaving hope with new challenges. The crew regrouped in the radio room, faces gaunt but bonds reforming. Blake, his command restored, praised Al's courage. "You're no sailor, but you've got guts." Maggie, her Liverpool pride bruised, offered a gruff nod. "Didn't think you'd pull it off." Harris, rewiring the radio, cracked a weak grin, easing the tension. The convoy's safe arrival sparked cheers among the crew, but a new challenge arose. A Luftwaffe sighting forced Vigilant to escort stragglers, testing their depleted strength. Al, despite fatigue, recalibrated signals, his mathematical mind unyielding, the decrypt's success urging him forward. Ensign David Walsh from HMS Sparrow relayed gratitude. "Your warning saved us." The message was a balm, but Sarah's betrayal lingered, a shadow on their victory. Emotional coping deepened, Al grappling with the mission's toll. In a quiet moment on deck, the sea's gray expanse stretching endlessly, he confided in Harris. "I see him, my friend, sinking. Did I do enough?" Harris, lighting a cigarette, exhaled slowly. You did more than most, mate. The exchange eased Al's guilt, but a letter from Dr. Evelyn Carter, delivered via Sparrow, reopened wounds. Return to Bletchley, but expect scrutiny. Al penned a reply, his words halting. I tried, Evelyn, for him. The act was cathartic, but hallucinations persisted, his friend's voice in the waves, accusing, You risked too much. Maggie's quiet apology, I had no choice, offered closure. Her brother's fate a shared burden. The crew's bond, forged in crisis, held firm, a flicker of light in the fog. Long-term consequences unfolded over years, shaping Al's path. Physically, the mission's toll lingered. His hands stiffened in cold, a reminder of the radio's wires. Bletchley's inquiry cleared him, but his defiance barred promotion, pushing him to academia in Cambridge by 1945. Teaching mathematics, he found redemption, his lectures weaving Enigma's lessons, logic tempered by humanity. Emotionally, nightmares faded but never vanished. Therapy through letters with Harris, now a radio technician, and Maggie, an engineer in civilian life. You showed us courage, Harris wrote, easing Al's doubt. Sarah's fate, imprisoned, then lost to history, haunted him, a reminder of trust's fragility. Walsh, rising in the Navy, sent thanks, crediting Al's decrypt for his career. These bonds wove a tapestry of impact, Al's mission saving lives and shaping futures. Family anchored Al's later years, grounding the aftermath in love. His marriage to Laura, a librarian met at Cambridge, brought a son named Thomas for his friend. Sharing edited tales of the Atlantic, Al taught courage. Why'd you risk it, Dad? His son asked, prompting a profound reply. Because codes save lives, but trust builds them. The answer encapsulated the moral. Courage in the face of betrayal forges a legacy stronger than steel. Laura, sensing his shadows, encouraged journaling. The Enigma was your war, but humanity was your victory. In the 1950s, Al visited Bletchley, now a quiet estate, meeting Evelyn, who praised his gambit. You changed the war. The reunion closed a circle, his legacy a quiet valor. The moral resonated, timeless and profound. In war's chaos, answering a call to save others, even amid treachery, preserves the soul. Al's life, marked by intellect and heart, inspired students, his son and himself. Trust, though fragile, is the code that endures. The Atlantic's echoes, though heavy, bloomed with hope, a testament to one codebreaker's stand. Inspired by true accounts from the Battle of the Atlantic in 1943, where Bletchley Park's codebreakers, using Enigma decrypts, saved countless convoys, as documented in declassified naval records and personal memoirs.